Okay, let's get this show on the road. Hello, everybody, or whoever is here. No, it's not working. How is everybody today? Alright, well, looks like I'm live. And hello everybody that's here. It's just a matter of the rest of the systems catching up, really. So it's going to take a little while for that to work properly, I'm guessing. Right. Let go. Let's just edit that. Private, public. Apparently, not everything is properly working. But yeah, we'll get there at some point. At some point. Something is working. Looks like I got some that's better. Hello legend, welcome in. Just getting started. Well, that was my microphone, to be honest. It's my microphone. It's in my back pocket with the wires, because then it's out of the way. Sonny Richardson. What we're planning today, legend? We're gonna make another set of grinders, because on Tuesday I have the live demo, and that live demo is it's from my woodturning club, and I need to practice that a little bit to make sure everything is working properly. And yep. See how it slipped in and out there, right? Yeah, we can call it that. We can call it that. So let's see. I don't know. I don't think all the lives is running, but you know, it's fine. So let's get into it. Get on with it. Like the wires. We got a bit of timber, and we're gonna make it out of ash. We're gonna try to use some colors. And this little button here makes me turn the camera. So let's do that and go over to the miter saw, because here on the miter saw I have the timber that I need. Let me just see how long that is. So it's about 35 centimeters. Half of 35 is 17.5, which is about there. So that's how I'm going to cut it. Right. Now, for the bottom part, it's going to be 11 centimeters. and the rest is going to be the top part. So that's one set. And I need to mark this in a little bit. There's another one. There you go. Now we have for 2 sets. Let's get back to the lathe. That gives me anxiety. What gives you anxiety? Cutting on the miter saw. What we're making, we're gonna make salt and pepper grinder. We're gonna make a set because we can. Right. So the thing is, with this piece here, a 35 centimeters piece of timber will do well for 2 grinders. Right. But to make a continuous grain one, because we want the grain, I don't know if you can see that really, but the grain going down this way, and we want it to match when the product is complete, I'm gonna make a V like that. Right. That V will make sure that I have everything going in the right direction at the end. I'm going to do the same here. Like that. Right. One set off to the side. The other set here. I'm going to take the top, put that away because I'm going to use that later. Now, this is going to be the top of the base of the grinder. This is going to be the bottom. And we're going to need to start drilling some holes in it, because if we drill the hole first, I'll close my fingers out. Oh, they are like this far away from the blade, so it doesn't worry. You got any Liga Vita as your favorite wood? We call that Gullregn in Danish. It means golden shower. So that's a little fun note there. Because of the flowers come off it. I do have a little bit of it in the back. I'm not going to use it today because it's somewhat toxic. I still got all my fingers. It's a little bit toxic, and I don't want to use that for this particular project. I will at some point make a set of grinders of it, because that specific piece of timber was given to me by my neighbor, and they asked if I could make a set for them of that, so I will. So let's get the camera in a little bit. So I'm connecting my one-way Talon jaws with the standard jaws on it, because that should be able to open wide enough. It should be able to open wide enough for this to sit there, so I can drill it. Now, it's normally not recommended to put a piece of square timber in a set of jaws, unless you have a... no, it's not opening. Yeah, there it is. Unless you have the premium profiled from one way. Now, the reason being, those jaws give a good grip. Give a good grip, no matter the size of the timber, as long as we press on the timber because of the profiles. So that's a reasonable grip. I can see it's not perfectly centered because this was not perfectly square. I should probably have planed this first. That would have given me the best grip possible. Should do it with metal. Yeah, but I'm a woodworker, not a metal worker, so that's not going to happen. By the way, I am live over on Twitch as well. Not sure that the YouTube are able to read the Twitch comments, but the Twitch people are able to read the YouTube comments. It's a bot issue. I haven't got it to work properly yet. Say Densewood? RJJ, someone did say Densewood, yes. Now, oops, my airbrush. I can take that away because I'm not going to use that right away. I'm going to use that later. So I can just move that over to... I'm just going to put it here. Right. Now, I'm not from UK, no, I'm from Denmark. Denmark. Right, what I do when I drill this, the first hole I'm going to drill is a 42 mil hole, and I'm going to drill that 20 millimeters deep, or 2 centimeters, or 4/5 of an inch ish, depending on where you are in the world. So what I do is I set my tailstock to 2 centimeters deep, so I know I have a starting point to where I need to start drilling from. Then I jam the tailstock into the wood so it starts at 0. Then I reverse it a little bit, because starting the lathe with the drill engaged is not something we should do. Yeah. So let's drill. I always like to hold a hand on the drill shock when I drill, because of the then I can feel if it starts slipping in the tailstock, and we don't want that. Now that's the first hole, and I'm going to reverse that out again. Free masterclass whipping, yeah. Most practical thing I've seen in ages. Okay, that's cool, RJJ. Now that one can be put aside, for we're not going to use that now. No worries. I'll try to help everybody as I can. So again, you cannot see that, but here on my tailstock, let me get the camera in a little bit because I can. Oops, the other way. And zoom. Zoom, 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 zoom. And I just need that to clear up a little bit. There you go. Now you cannot see that, but I have indicators, I have numbers here as a measurement, so I can see how far the quill has advanced into the timber. And by starting it at a number that I know how deep I'm drilling. Right. And because there's always a bit of slack here, what I do is I set it, jam it in, and set it to where I want it to be. Because then I can lock the tailstock down to the lathe. Lock the tailstock to the lathe so it doesn't move, and reverse the quill a little bit so the drill again is not engaged while I drill. So are we going rather slow here? And even though I like to keep my hands on the Jacob choke when I drill, this here with a little bit of air in it will cool a bit down and remove the shavings, and we need to drill, well, it doesn't matter how far we drill in, but we need to drill at least 4 centimeters. That's there. Actually 35 millimeters would be the minimum required. And I need my helmet on because we got to get shavings all over the place, and I don't like it in my lungs. Thank you for that follow over on TikTok. I stream on TikTok as well, but my bot doesn't know how to moderate all that stuff, so I'm just gonna have to read out the messages as they come. Let's see. What's going on? Anyway, wink. So, that's that. Now I can take the drill away and we have a nice hole. Now the next hole I'm going to drill has to be all the way through. And the audio cut out, didn't it? Yeah, the audio cut out. I'm back. I'm back. Hello, Nikolai. Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So, right, the next drill is going to be all the way through, which is the reason why I have an extender on it. So, this time I don't need to measure how deep I am. So I could just go at my own will. Now here is a really good idea to go slow and don't press too hard, but also keep your helmet on. So get the helmet on. There you go. Now and I'm just pressing through slowly. As soon as I feel like the drill is giving away, I know I'm through. Yeah, Nikolai, I know that. It's fine for now. I'm not going to change anything about it right now. Well, thank you. So, as soon as we go through, I'm going to have to stop advancing my quill. There it is. I felt it. Because if I keep going, I'll just have the drill smashing into the chuck, and that will destroy my drill bit. We don't want that. So now we have a perfectly drilled piece. What are we making? It's supposed to be a salt and pepper grind. As you can see, it looks like it didn't go through, but actually I did. So let me just, where is that drill? There it is. Let me just tap that out for you. There you go. And it's perfectly went through. So that's good. So that's one bottom done. Gonna put it, and I drill it on the wrong end. I am ridiculously stupid. Now, it's supposed to be like that, and that hole's supposed to be at the bottom. And I messed that up. So, it's not going to be perfect as I want it to. But it's going to be okay though. It's going to be okay. Don't worry, cry. Don't cry. Right. Next piece. Happens to the best of us, yeah. You know, stuff happens. No one's perfect. And I am really not perfect. Now I'm going to try to center this a little bit between the jaws so I get the most out of the timber. Like that. Right. Nikolai, if you want the broader view, you can go to Twitch as well. That's where the broader view is right now, if you want that. Now let me just check again. Now we got the right here, because the V aligns up, so that's better. He's Dutch nil on it. No, I'm not Dutch, Sammy. I'm from Denmark. Sorry. I didn't see all the comments because the chat's a little fast today for some reason, which is cool. But I didn't see all the messages, I'm sorry. So, we do that exact same thing again. Jam it in, lock the tailstock, and reverse a little bit. No worries, Sammy. That's nothing wrong. Right, and we're going to drill all the way down to 2 centimeters again. Can you explain what's in here? Yes, I can, Travis. I am making a salt and pepper grinder. Actually, I'm going to make two, so one be salt and one be pepper. And this is the process of drilling out the inside of it for the mechanisms. So that's that. So that's the first step for the mechanism. Let's just turn the lathe off because that's the safe part to do. And this will facilitate the mechanisms. Like, let me just show you. Now, these are the mechanisms I'm going to put into it. The first hole is going to facilitate from this rim here to that part. So that's about 17 mil. So it's going to have to stand up a little bit so this doesn't hit the table when it stands. So that's why I make it 20 millimeters. Now the next part from here, that edge there where my nail is, to that edge where my nail is now, is 35 mil, and I'm always making that 40 or more. So that way I can facilitate this whole thing. The second hole I'm drilling is actually to facilitate this rod here and make sure that the top piece is centered in the wood so it doesn't slip sideways when you use it, so it has a nice fit. But that's for the bottom part. The rest I'm going to show you later and explain it. So sit down, relax, be patient, and all will be well, I hope. So do that again. I jam it in, lock the tailstock, reverse the drill a little bit, and then we start it. Now we're drilling. Now get that air gun up to cool a bit and remove the shavings, because the drill will last longer if it's cool. And I don't have to reverse the drill that many times, so it's all going to be better. So there you go. Right, that's that. Now I need to drill all the way through with the last drill bit. And this is to facilitate the rod and the main chamber of the salt or pepper that's inside the mechanisms. Right. Now remember to drill slowly, because if you go too fast, you will hit the chock at the end. Now, there you go. I lost the pressure. I lost the resistance. Wood murder? Yeah. It's not wood murder if it's already cut down, right? And you're utilizing it. So that's just making something out of something, and that's a good thing. And there again, exactly the same thing. I did not push it out, so we could just tap that, because it's actually through. It's just hold on by friction. That's perfect. Hey bro. Yeah, that's alright, man. I'm used to all kinds of comments here, so don't worry about that. It's no problem. Righty. You're Chippy. You're a chippy. What's a chippy? Is that someone who cuts down timber, or you're a woodworker? Right. Now the next part here, we want the timber to run through. A carpenter, builder in Australian terms. Okay. Right, so I want to make sure that everything here runs true, and apparently it's not perfect because it moves in and out a little bit. So let me just get the speed up, and finally do a wee bit of wood turning. So I'm just gonna square this up. You can hear the chatter now of the gouge, which means this doesn't run through. I'm just going to remove a little bit. This doesn't feel too sharp, does it? Hello, Barney. Ah, it's J Elbow. Welcome in, dude. What happened to your catchphrase? Now, I'm just checking the square edge here to make sure that it's nice and straight. And as I can see, it is tipping a little bit, which means I'm going to have to take a little bit more out from the center, and let me get some more speed, because that makes stuff easier. I'm just going to do it like this. Right. So let's see. Now it's a bit concave, but it's a lot better than the other way. Let me just take a little bit of that away. Now, does everybody know the difference between concave and convex? The way I figure it, well, the way it is actually, it's convex. It's a growth, so it grows. Vex, growth. So vex is outwards, and cave is inwards, because it's cave in, right? Yeah, that's how I remember it. It's my little rule. Now, I just need a bit of air inside my Jacob's chuck, because that was dust in there, and that can remove or destroy all mechanics. Right. So here, I need to make a hole in the top to facilitate this bit here, the plastic. And that needs to be drilled at least 35mm. Well, 35mm is preferred, in my opinion. So let's go down to 2, lock the tailstock in, and reverse it a little bit again, as we have done many times already. Perfect. So let's just drill this in, the 35mm. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 5. 0.5. Wink. So, there you go. Now, we are almost ready to put the pieces together and turn it. First of all, I'm going to take out the Jacob's chuck, and I have a cone that should fit it just about right. Now, I need this to be in there, and I can do that by pressing it like that, but I cannot get it all the way through. But that's a good thing that we have a lathe. That's also a vise and a press and many more things. Right. Friction weld wood. Well, no, you can't. That's true. But you can burn it. Should I? I should probably not do it like that. I should not have done that. So let's just get another setup here. First of all, I need to cone off, because that's a little bit too small for this. And see if I can find the other one I have. That's there. Now this here, now that's solid metal, unless the except for the threads in it. and that's a little bit bigger, which is what I normally use for this type of work. Now, the thing is here, that hole I drilled could be a little bit too big for the for everything. So what I like to do is put a little bit of paper towel between there to make sure that all the little non-perfect hole sizes will, so that it lines up perfectly. So now the two holes are aligned perfectly, which means I can start my turning. Right. So let's see, get the tool rest up a little bit, make sure nothing hits. There, and that's it. And now we can start the turning. Right, we should probably use, could be considered as a chip as well as a fitter, a turner. Yeah, probably right. Now my tool rest is a bit too low. But actually, Ash J, I am a Sparky. So I know I'm on the wrong side of the spectrum for any craftsman's. I'm the most hated kind. Well, that's fine as well. Someone needs to make this. No, someone needs to be Sparky. So what I'm doing is I'm having my tool on the side and using the whole, oops, not too close, use this whole side here in a skew-like action. And right now I'm just taking my time to get nice cuts, because I'm not in a rush. Now we want to get this down to just under 60 mil, so about 58, sorry. That is my preferred size. And for that, I can take my little cheater tool that I use so often. Let me just get the set out so I can show you guys. Right. Now this set here is all the way from, I believe it's 15 mil, all the way up to 70 mil, with 1mm increments. And that means I can just take out whatever size I need and make sure I get the same exact cut every time. I'm just going to go for 59 mil, because then I have a little millimeter extra for when the for correcting my errors. So what I do, I just hold it down, and because it has round over edges, my gauge, I can just push it through without the fear of it binding. And if I'm not in a rush, I can do that on both ends, like this. There you go. That should be perfectly 59mm. So now I can just connect the dots. Just with a few planing cuts here. Nice and good. Well, the speed, I can take the speed up a lot more because it's actually moving really slow. So now I'm really close, and I can just refine the shape. But what I do is I look on the top side here. I can see if that's straight. I don't look at my gouge when I turn, not that often anyway, because any movement of my hands, it will translate into the piece being uneven. Now we're going to be careful here because we're going to get close to the jaws. Right. Now making these as a production turner, I often make them out of oak. Well, I only make them out of oak because oak can be smoked, treated to become dark. Hello, Brian. Right. As you can see, a nice, beautiful, straight shape. There you go. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, that is. There's no light coming through, so that's perfect. That's what we want, really. Now, 35mm is the way I drilled it. Remember. So the holes that I drilled in the top here goes to here, which means I need to cut the piece off here where the chocks are, and that's not a problem. I can fix that later. Right, where is that piece? There it is. That's good. So there you go. That's a nice size for this. So let's get a bit of sandpaper, and because we took so nice time, so good time to turn this. I don't need a lot of sanding, so I'm just going to go in with 180 grit. And when we sand, we should take the speed down. When I do production turning, I don't take the speed down. I just go because it just takes too freaking long for the lathe to spin up and down. So every time I can not take the speed up and down, that's what I will do. And just round over the bottom here a little bit, so that's really nice. Now that sandpaper, I can save that for later because I'm going to use it again. I'm just going to go to 240, and that should be the end of the sanding. So just 240. Just a second, guys. So, right, now a little trick that I learned: if you're not going to paint your stuff, right, if you're not going to use color on it or anything, you can take the back of the cloth sandpaper and just hold it against the timber, and it will burnish the surface and makes it nice and shiny. It doesn't take much, something like that, and that is perfect. And it looks really, really good. There you go. Now let's just reverse this here a little bit and see if I can get the grains to match. And there's something not completely right about this, because it's not matching up perfectly, which means this is where it's the worst, right? Just about here. So this is where it's the worst off center. So if I go halfway, I should be able to just really easily just take a little nip off, and that hopefully will make it fit properly. Now we sand at high speed now because it is at high speed. It's rough on the sandpaper, and it's just how it is sometimes. Don't put too much pressure on the paper, and just sand a little bit. Oh, that was the 180, sorry. I switched around them. So that's the 240. Now you can see, because of the high speed, there a lot of material is coming off. And we'll see. Right, so let me just see again if it does line up, and it does line up a lot better. So let's just get it into the right place there. So that's good. Now I can feel the difference, but it's not an issue. Right, a little trick, get it up to speed, have the sandpaper ready, stop the lathe, reverse this a little bit, and that way you can get the sandpaper in that crack and just sand it off a little bit. I wasn't fast enough because I wasn't prepared. That paper can come out, and I can just do this to take off the edge. Now that's going to round out the edge a little bit. It's two benefits. One, it's not that prone to cracking. Two, that little imperfection we had with the lining up stuff will almost disappear when I do stuff like that. And I do the same there. Right. Now that's good. Oh, I can come off. Well, that's ready for stage 2. Now because we're making sets, and the I can take that to the side, and the other set is not going to line up, which is going to be awful and annoying and not good. I'm thinking about taking another piece of timber. Let me see if I have one that it's ready to go, and I do. So I'm just going to cut that up really quickly. We just have to drill that out again. That should not be an issue. Shouldn't take too long. So now I just made another piece. That's the good part of having timber unstuck. Whenever I mess up, I can correct it rather easy. Right. Now remember, that part with the V has to go up. So let me just see if I can get this to fit. Right, that's about right, that's good. And we need to tighten the chuck properly because we don't want to get in trouble. Okay, now that can be to the side. I'm just going to do the same thing again. Right. Right, so let's see. That's too fast. And drill those 2 centimeters in. And that's there. Go to my mark. And let's start drilling. Now we get the compressor up again. And we're just going to drill. So that was 3. That's 4. Now remember, I only need 35, but I do 4. That extra 5mm is gonna leave some extra room for salt and or pepper. Right, now we're gonna have to drill through. I'm gonna go slowly. A good sign is no vibration here on the drill, which means it's going in center, and that's what we want really. And it looks like it's dinner time, so hold on a little bit. I know we haven't been streaming for more than 45 minutes, but it's dinner time. My son brought me a grilled cheese sandwich, because that's what he does every Sunday, and around this time, when he gets hungry, he makes me a sandwich. And that's really nice of him, because we can all use a little bit of food sometimes. Right. So, fire away all your questions, and I will chew. And we can chat a little bit. Right. Now, there's nothing better than a grilled cheese sandwich with a little bit of wood dust on it. That's perfect. Oops, sorry. And that's food ASMR, if you are not familiar. No? No questions? What about anybody over on Twitch or TikTok? No? That's easy. Huh. Well, you're eating what you just turned. Yeah, you can say that. Could use a little bit of salt. We'll figure that out later when it's done, right? Now, what I really should have done at the beginning, I should have planed the pieces, because that will make everything a lot easier all throughout the process. Yeah. So, almost done with the sandwich. And we get back to turning. Wonderful. That was good. Thank you, son. If he is watching. I don't know if he is. Right. Now this piece can come out. Oops. Shouldn't take much. I'll look at the camera back on the white piece. Right, and again, we have the little knob here. We can just take that out. So that's good. Right. And we did it right. The continuous grain is going to be good on this. We just need to make sure that this is the right way in the chuck. And it is towards the bottom, which means it should turn somewhat true. Let's just crank that in, and let's see how true this is running. And it's really, really close. So that's good. I just need to take a little bit out. Now I'm just using a scraping motion, which is not going to leave the best of surfaces, but it's the easiest one to control. Right, now we want it completely straight or a little bit concave. It is a little bit convex, which means maybe when I drill it, it should be okay. So I'm going to try to drill it. If it's not perfectly straight after that, or a bit concave, I am going to turn that away with a gouge. So I'm just going to do that really easy. Now take the 22mm. Put it in the chuck. Now remember, we need 35mm of depth in this. So we're going to do that. Let's drill that 35mm deep. We're going to do our best to get the drill bit not to wobble. And you can see how steady it is right now. It doesn't wobble. So that's 2 centimeters, and we need to go a bit further. I'm just going to go with this a little bit, and now I really should have got my mask on again. So that's 3. And that's where we want to go. Right. So 35mm down. That's a minimum. Get that bit out. It's not hot because I use the compressor to cool it. That's good. Now let's just check with the straight edge again. Looks really good. It could use with a little bit of touch up because it looks like there's still a little bit too much. A little bit too high on the inside, and we don't want that. We want anything. We want it the other way, but only just a touch. What's that? So we don't need much. Right. There you go. I think that gouge has a damaged end on it, so I'm just going to take that out. I'm going to try this Thompson gouge. I've not tried for the first time. I tried it many, many times. I don't really like it. I don't think it holds up that well. It's either because, well, I don't know why actually. It should last a long time because it's like, it should be a really high quality tool. But it's not, I don't feel it. Right, let me push that in. So that's good. First that a little bit, and now get my contraption bag on again. That's one of the cool things about the one-way lathe centers, is that they have this threads on it, so you can attach many things to it. Right. Now, because I cut that on the miter saw, it should be fairly straight. Which means the hope of this running true is high. Again with the paper towel, just to try and get it to not wobble. Because if the hole I drilled here is a little bit too large, because of the drill being off its specs, that piece here on the top that is guiding this piece makes it off center a little bit. And I think we're just about right there. Now I'm going to do something else now. I'm going to put on my mask, and I'm going to turn on the dust extractor, because really I don't like dust. And for Woodturning, that's kind of weird. I just don't like it. The good thing is the audio shouldn't suffer from it, so that's good. Right. Well, let's do it properly this time and take the roughing spindle gouge out for a spin. It's reasonably sharp. Let's see, let's go up a little bit of speed here. We can go 2400. I'm just gonna take a little bit of material off, careful not to hit the jaws. And for those of you who don't know, rocking forth and back with your body when you're turning like this gives you a more steady cut, because your body is a lot more stable than, for instance, if I do this with my arms. The chances of it going off direction is high. Right, so that's turned, and let's try this Thompson gouge here. So I'm just going to take nice shavings until we get about round. When we get about round, I will do the measurements again to make sure those two pieces are close to being the same diameter. Now this is close to round. Now if it's not round, you should be able to hear the tool doing like that, but here it's so close that it's fine. So just gonna do this again. Parting tool, just plunging in like that, and there, and that should be it. Now that was rather aggressive. The closer I'm getting to the final shape, the finer shavings I take. Because the finer shavings I take, the better surface it will leave. Well, that's about right. I'm just going to use the tip here and go and make this as good as I can. There you go. Now, feeling like this, you need to be careful because two things can happen. You get splinters, it's fine. Or you can get, if this is too close to each other, your hand can get stuck in between. So always put your finger on top and just touch if you want to touch it. Now, and I know that because I tried to get my hand stuck between the tool rest and the piece. And that hurt, and that's really hurt too. That's not something I can recommend. Now, let's just check again to see how well the alignment are. Now I'm turning this halfway around, and I can just feel that it's off, but it's not that much off that I think it would be an issue. And we can see here the grain is following up pretty good, so that's fine. We're just going to leave it like that. So I'm just going to finish up with the 180 grit and just round over the corner just a little bit, not much, and just a 240 now. You don't need it much sanding. We're just going to take the bag again just because we can, right? There you go. Well, that's perfect. Right. And that paper disappeared, which is okay. Now I just need to round the edge again here. And I always do this by hand. I try to do it on the lathe, but it's not always working properly, so I just do this here. Right. That's good. Right. Now, I can take the chuck off, because there's a couple of different ways I can do this. Right, one of the ways is me taking the chuck off and using another cone, because I have another one. I just need to put my eyes on it. There it is. Here. And I think, if not mistaken, I need a spacer. Luckily I have one. So that spacer there, make sure that it lands nice and true here. There. Right. Now I need to take this off. Like that. That could go there, that can go there, and this is the piece that's supposed to fit together like that. So that's good. Right. Let's get that closer. Now, one way is actually going like this, but you can see that it's really difficult to hit the center so it spins through, which will result in uneven ends, and that's not really good. Right, so that's one way to do it, but how I like to do it is a bit different. So I have a chuck that I don't use that often. Right. That's a tight fit. And that chuck is mounted with some 5 ends 5-inch cold jaws with some rubber bits on it. Those rubber bits are the same that you will find on the jumbo jaws from One Way. You can also buy them loose, like in a set. Right. If I put it in here, like that, and it's not the best of holes, which is the reason why I'm going to use the tailstock. Now before I do this, I make sure that it runs somewhat true. In this case it does. Now I don't need a lot of pressure, just need enough to hold it. And I should probably take a smaller tool rest, if I have it. I should have it somewhere. I don't think I do. Right. Now it's going to be awful here. I needed a smaller tool rest, and I just don't want to find it right now. Right. Now we're going to turn this away. Get the speed up a little bit more. Now the trick is here. I just remembered I can do this, which will get me the tool rest where I want it. That's a lot better. Okay. Now the trick is, don't dislodge it like that. Right. Let's get it down to just about where it is and blend it in, because this is running not perfectly true, but really close. Right. Now to do this properly, we need to make sure that all the tops are the same length. Right. So how do you do that? Well, basic. Just measure them. So we know that 35 is where I drill to, so we need to go at least 40, so we go 45 mil. And 45 mil is where it should be 1 centimeters more than what I drilled, which gave us plenty of room for hopefully plenty of room to avoid mistakes. Right. I'm just doing cuts like this, not big cuts, and careful not to do that. I'm just doing regular small cuts, and while I do this I try to get the angle more straight in, so I don't have to change that much later on when there is no support. Right, so I made a mistake there, and let's just see how awful that went. So it's a millimeter I lost. Now what I want to do, I want to be able to finish that cut without exactly when I take off the bit here. Right, so that's why I'm thinning this out. And just going closer and closer. Now this is a little bit concave, just a little bit. Now, some woodturners out there will probably laugh at me right now and say I should use the skew, the almighty skew. And yes, I would use the almighty skew, but the problem is, if I do it in a production setting or anywhere else, I get in trouble. Because I get catches, because I haven't practiced enough with the skew. Right, now we just need to sand this to get that little ring off. And always make sure that the little tip at the end there gets a little bit extra attention, because that will always show. Right, now this is kind of what I do on a lot of them. Of course, everything goes a lot faster, and I don't do them normally when I stream or on demo, because it just takes too long, really. I spent right now, what, an hour making 2 grinders, and not even done yet. Which means if I were to sell them, a set should be about 100 euros. And that's fine for something really special, and that could be fine. I mean, I'm not sure it is fine. But a restaurant's not going to pay 100 euros for a set. I'm lucky if they pay me 10 or 15 euros, not like 15 euros, something like that for one unit. So that's 30 euros for a set. Where did I put that? There it is. Right, and that's a grinder. Right, let's just get the other part done, and we can decide what colors we're going to use, because that's really the main reason why we do all this. So let me just get that in there, and let's see how true that turns. That's really off. So that way, I think that's really close. Put a mark in there. We did. We can take that out and damn it. Gentlemen. Why is no one talking? Is my chat died? Or did everybody leave because I had a sandwich? A lot of people here. Nobody talks to me. That's sad. Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. Now let me get rid of this stupid couch because I don't like it. Just gonna whittle that down again. Just John while doing scrumming on your birthday. Hey, happy birthday, James Daniel. Happy birthday. I hope you're well. How old are you today? "37. Well, happy 37th birthday. That's good. Hope you're having a good day so far. James Daniel, you're probably either British or American, right? That tip here is really hard to get out. Irish? Well, yeah. Yep. We thought about going to Ireland this summer, but we decided to go to Germany, to Schwarzwald, the Black Forest, for your non-German speaking. You were colonised by the British, yeah, I know. But at some point you're going to get your freedom, right? You were, or Chris makes stuff. Hello, Chris. Welcome back. It's been a while, dude. Hope you're well. I'm just trying to get this stupid life sensor point out. That's obviously not going to happen. Live is not on my site today. So let me just find an alternative. Where is the little bits? The little bits that we took off. They're gone. Anyway. What are we making? We are making a salt, ore and pepper grinder. And I say it like that because we can use for both. Well, the thing is, I just corrected the sensor because it was wobbling a little bit too much for my liking, so I needed to get the center bit of the live center in a new spot that was really close to the other one, and that normally not make works well. So let's see here. Jesus is Lord, God bless everyone. Well, thank you for that. I don't share your beliefs, but thank you for the well meaning. That's nice of you. Well, come to think about it, Jesus is not Lord really, that's his father. You cannot be a Lord when you still have the Father, right? That's normally how it goes. But yeah, that's another discussion for another day. So we're just going to do the same thing here. Right, same thing, just going to go close without taking that connection away, which is going to be difficult because this piece is a little bit shorter than the other one. Also this is convex a little bit, so you need to take a little bit more off. Probably should take the skew a little bit and hopefully not get in trouble. Right, that's away. I can use my gouge and just try to make this a nice and even surface without too much issue. If you, that's a new word, isn't it? If you. So we're just going to sand this and round over the edge a little bit, and again always take good care of the nipple here in the center. We all thought that was what it was, wasn't it, didn't we? A wood nipple at the center. So yeah, just take care of that. I'm trying to get that little light away. I'm probably going to leave you with a better view. A better light setting. Yeah, probably is better, isn't it? There we go. Let's just see, there's a ring there. It is really prominent and should do something about it. Let me try to raise the grain a little bit and see if I can do anything about it like that. That's just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Which will disappear really quick. Now what I'm afraid of right now is actually I drilled deeper than I thought I did, and that ring is could actually be from the drill. It could be. But yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can work around that a little bit. I think that's going to be okay. Now let's take this off and let's get to there you go. That's off. Goes on the on grinder. And let's take this chub off. Like that. Right. Now we've got to have a little bit of fun, see? Fun. Because everything is not perfect in the world, right? So we're going to add a little chaos to it. Basically because we can. And it's fun. And yeah. And we need fun, right? Right, first of all, the best course of action for this would probably be not to insert this, because this is not what I normally do with it. Normally I color them like this. As you can see, the mill is fitting in there rather well. I'm going to get rid of that tool rest because we're not going to need that anymore. And I can get rid of my mask because I'm not going to need that anymore. I can turn off the dust collector. There you go. So we're going to get rid of all the noises. Right. So let's just get this in a place that where we can do stuff. What was that YouTuber's TikTok stream or whatever he is? Nate from America says, go places, do things. Yeah, I think that's a good thing to say. Right. Press it in. Now because my tailstock is a Morse taper 3, it fits perfectly around here, so I can just press it in. If you have a Morse taper 2, you need to make an adapter, so you don't damage there. But basically, that's the grinder. But we need to make 2. You can see, right, it fits perfectly around the mechanism. Whoop, like that, and it's in. Right, and there we have it. But, like I said, this is the boring part. Let's get to the fun part. Get rid of that. Take that little thing. Now, I choose ash wood timber for specific reasons. The reason being, it works really, really well with the technique I'm about to show. Right. And if you're a follower of my channel, you know exactly what I'm about to do. I'm about to burn that mother... and add some colour. Not exactly in that order. I wonder if I can do that. Yeah, I can. That's perfect. Right. So that's right. That can spin now. I don't need a lot of holding power or tension or anything. I just need it to hold. And I need to hold like that, which is good. Right, so what colour are we going to use? I haven't used the earth colour yet because it's really dark. I haven't used black because that will not make sense. I haven't used white because that's just weird, I think. I have used blue, yellow and pale green. So I think we can go What about flame? A red, right? We can go with a kind of red, orange red. We can go with a purple. What do you guys think? A brown colour. An earth colour, a brown colour. Any ideas? Now, what we have to choose from is that palette. If that can, yeah, there you go. That's the palette of colours. So, what colour do you think we should do? I know midnight blue is going to be really dark and not properly useful. The black is off as well because that's not what we want, and white is off. But the rest we can try. So what you guys think? I already did the honey, the pear green and the sky blue. So let me hear what you think. What colour? Right. Pick a colour and we go with it. We need to pick two, so the two first one to mention a colour will decide. And that's across all platforms, so anybody can do. No one? Blue. Alright. But that's going to be... I already used that blue. Alex. I already used that one. Like I said. The midnight blue is going to be too dark and I already used sky blue. So, pick another one please. Purple? Yeah. We got purple, Alex. That's a good colour. You can think about purple and yellow. I already used the yellows on another set of grinders, so that's off as well, like I said. So blue and yellow and light green is off, same as the black and the white. Well, let's go purp. Yeah, we will go purple. But I need to make two, so we need another one as well. Right. Trick here is to give it a coat of colour, but not go too heavy with the purple at least, or the plum as it's called. Right, now that's dried really quickly, which is good, because I have a little bit of colour on there, on the plastic inside, which is not an issue. I just need to dry it off. Right. There you go. Should we get you a little bit closer so you can see exactly what's going on? Yoink, yoink, yoink. Good, good, good. There we are. Now, this is a creme brulee torch, and normally it is not recommended to go using fire in a wood workshop. Right. Now, because of the structure of the end, I need to make sure that I cool it really quickly after I apply the heat, and I just do that with the airbrush really. So I can cool it reasonably well. And also here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of to this. Careful not to go too close to the plastic. Right. Because that will melt the plastic as well. Anyway, let me just get this out and do a little bit of color on the underside here. We should probably get a little bit of sandpaper in here as well, because there's a little bit of marks after the drill. It's not a problem, it's easy to remove. Like this. It's just as soon as we apply the colors and everything else, it's just not gonna look right. Now, this doesn't look too vibrant and too cool and too whoa new thingy. No, just hold on and trust the process. Now, Alex, could you pick another color? Or if anybody else wants to pick a color, please do. Right. Now, what I'm doing here is adding a little bit of shadows with some extra burnt spots. Just a little bit, not too much. Right. Now, as soon as that's cooled off, and it soon will be, hopefully, we can go on with the sanding sealer. Now, I'm just going to go with the airbrush again and use that to cool it. And I can maybe add a little bit more color here and there, because it's maybe probably just a wee bit too bright in some places. Now I'm going really light with the airbrush. Now you don't have to use an airbrush, you can use just a paper towel or brush or whatever. As long as you get the colour on there, it should be fine. Right, because that was lukewarm, it's cooled off now and the colour is dry, which means it's on to the next thing. Now, for these things here, I like a matte lacquer finish. Flame? Sure, Ryan. We'd make a flame one. So this is just matte sanding sealer. I'm just going to go a reasonable coat. Try not to go too heavy. I did that on the corner there and that was bad. But a good thing is right now when it's just the first layer I actually can just wipe it a little bit off. I know you're not supposed to and I know that's not right, but it's just how it is. Pot leaf. I don't have pot leaf colour. I do have greenish colours. Yes, that's true. Now, this way, my chalk also gets a healthy dose, which means it will not rust. Now, that's that. And let's just get the matte lacquer ready, because that's what I'm going to use. I dig the shadowing. Thank you, Ryan. As soon as it's ready, let me just show you the one it's done. You will see that it's really nice actually. Now again, I'm using the air on the airbrush to help this dry a little bit quicker, which is just about there, I think. It's just about dry. Just needs a little bit more time, unfortunately. Now I probably should turn on the dust extractor just to circulate the air a little bit, because it's really aerosol heavy. Solvent. I know there are people that like that stuff. I'm not one of them that particularly like it. I mean, it's alright though, but it's not perfect. Now, the next thing I'm going to use here is a matte lacquer. Right, satin lacquer is what's called. Now, it's going to give it a nice protection, but it's also going to give it a little bit of depth. For the colour. Not to be that guy or anything, but that's uneven. What do you mean uneven? What is uneven? The colouring? Yes, the colouring is supposed to be uneven. But what else do you think about? The lacquer? That's going to be alright now. He's being that guy. Thanks for the support, Ryan. Well, that's alright, man. That's alright, you know. I never said I was a master. I just like what I'm doing. What I'm making is going to be, it's a grinder. It's a salt or pepper grinder, depending on your preference. So this one is almost done. I'm just waiting for this to dry a little bit. And I think it's coated nicely. The bottom's not coated, but you know, it's fine. I can always do that at some point. This is ash. Nice bit of ash. So this is the same timber. The good thing about ash in this process is the grain is so open that it takes the heat really fast and is spaced out long enough to show properly, so not everything is dark, and is soft enough to take it quickly, so the risk of the wood being overheated and cracking is minimized. You will not lose that risk, but it's minimized. Right, by the looks of it, it's getting real close. Is that colour from the heat? No, the colour is from the plum. colour that I used. It's part of it's a water-based colour system. Intrinsic colours from Hampshire Sheen. Let me just get that to focus, please. There you go. Intrinsic colour, Hampshire Sheen product. That works really well with just brushes, paper towels, sprayed on, airbrushed on, whatever. And I like them because they're water-based, so it's not gonna they're not going to dissolve that quickly, or vaporize that quickly. So you can, if you use multiple colors, you can work them, so you can blend them in between each other. If you use spirit colors, they will dry out really, really fast, and the chances of you being able to work them so they blend together is really slim. So that's why I like them. Right, where did I put that key? There it is. So what you guys think? Oops. No. I was close of being published. There you go. There you go. One is done. And there you have it. That's a cross grind insert, which you can adjust the coarseness of the ground just by twitching that knob. It got a 25-year warranty, so that's why I use them, because it doesn't matter how long it takes. If people come back with a grinder I made and they say the insert is broken, I can warranty it, which also really nice to say to a person. But this is a kind of expensive product. It costs a lot of money, but that's a 25-year warranty on the mechanism, so you can just warranty that with me whenever you want. That's also cool. Right, that's one. Now, we always make them in a set, right? And that's what I did. So I have another one here I just made, if you weren't here. Right, like that. Just as a wee bit of pressure, like that, not too much. You don't need much, because it's not gonna have any force on it. This is the wrong lid for this can, but it's okay. Right, now we do the same thing again, but someone said flame, and that's an orange color, an orange E color, or red orange. I need to learn to watch the small tips of my airbrush. I got some small rubber covers on these cans, and I lose them sometimes, and it's not nice. Right, are we sure we want to go this color? Let me show you how it looks, because we've still got time to change it, really, if you want it. Now that's burned, or that's flame. That's a flame color. Let me get that into the frame. Right, that's that one. I mean, it's a nice color. Hello, Ryder. Okay. So let's do that. Now, again, I'm not going too heavy on the color. I think I can apply a lot more, but it's easier to add something than take it away. Even though these are just water-based colors, they don't go into deep, so you can sand them away fairly easy, if that's what you want. Something deeper, yeah? Darker. it will be darker, don't worry about it. It will absolutely be darker as soon as we I burn the surface. So don't worry about that. That was my Danish accent just popping in there, I'm sorry about that. Is it? No, it's not. A little bit more, not too much still. Okay, I think that's about right. Now, the colour's come flame, so let's burn it. Alright. Just look at that. Right. Now again, I need to cool off the end cap here, because it is normally rather thin. And the chance of that overheating and cracking is really high. Now, I can add a little bit more color in areas that I think is too light. This does two things. It also cools the piece down a little bit. Because it's rather warm now, and it needs to be cooled a little bit. So, there you go. Nope, I didn't. It was straight off. Right, so there was nothing there. I was just straight off the sandpaper, like 320. And then, no, 240. Yeah, 240 was the maximum I used, I think. And then just paint a colour and burned. That's it, nothing else. So yeah, so that's it. I'm just going to get the same treatment here a little bit, if I'm able, without burning that plastic in the middle. There you go. What about this piece? There you go. I can have a little more. Good. It'll also give it a natural feel or textile feel or whatever. So it's not too bad really. So the inside, the back here, that's a bit tricky. So you need to be careful not to put too much color on the grinder mechanisms itself, because that I think that the grinder itself is made by ceramic. I think that will hold the color a little bit, which is not something we are really interested in. But it did, so it got colored, but it's not, should not be a too big of an issue. Just a little bit of heat here. Careful not going too hot. We don't want to burn the plastic, but we also want the rim to be burned, because that looks, in my opinion, just cool. Righto. Let's get this back on the chuck. Right, like that. So let's get it again with the matte sanding sealer. Righto. So that's the first layer. I need to give it, I think 2 layers should do. The next one is gonna focus on the inside here a little bit to give it a little bit of able to retain. Look how much the color just popped from that little one, from just one spray of sanding sealer. That is just amazing, isn't it? It was a little bit too much there because of the me spraying from both sides. I'm going to try to take care of that a little bit. I think that should be alright. I'm going to do something. Always do it like that. Right. Now you shouldn't mess with the sanding sealer like this. This is not the right thing to do. That stain made it pop. This is just sanding sealer, to be honest. It's not really stain. It's just sanding sealer. Well, I'll just find that matte lacquer again. There it is. But yes, that does really make it pop. And we're almost done with the matte lacquer. But yes, it does really make it look cool. I mean, you could use the wire brush or the Scotch-Brite to darken the grains a little bit, not darken, deepen the grain, to make it able to hold whatever you're putting on better. But I'm not doing that really. I'm just burning the surface to make it pop, so we can see really. Now this is just a matte lacquer again, the same as before. It spins a little bit too fast for the camera, right? Yeah. Thank you, that, William Wirt. Yes, it had more texture, but I'm not into the textured feel too much. Again, this is a grinder, and a salt or pepper grinder. You can handle that quite a lot, right? So if you got like deeper grooves into the timber, what's going to happen to all the grime that's on your hand? It's just going to go into that, right? And just stay there and not going to be able to come out again. So we don't really want that, do we? You should wear a mask. I do have the suction going right here, so I think I'm going to be alright. Well, thank you for your concern. Yeah, it would be nasty over time, right? It's the same thing, right? When you have a wooden cutting board, what would you use to condition that cutting board when you use it day to day? What will you do? Most people would just take the food oil, the vegetable oils you use for cooking, and give it a coat, because that would look nice. Show us what else you have made. This here, that's the other one. Yeah. So that's the other one I made today. But yeah, you just use the vegetable oil on your cutting board. The problem with that being, that vegetable oil will harden in the surface of the cutting board. It's a combination. The vacuum, the dust extractor admits about 70 dB. But it's in the other end of the workshop. But the mic here is really good. It's just, yeah. You can hear the vacuum, but that's all. Yes, but if you use that oil, it will harden on the surface. When you cut your meat the next time, the meat, the juices from the meat will go under the surface and just stay there, and grow bacteria and be happy. Also, the vegetable oil will go over time. It will go bad and smells. So you shouldn't do that. You should use a mineral oil, a food grade mineral oil. That would be the best for your cutting boards. Oh, that's beautiful. I use a food grade mineral oil. It's a food safe one. The one I've been using so far is from Myland. This is an old tin and it's almost empty. But it's the Myland food safe oil. It's really old now. It's almost empty, but that's what I use, and so it's perfect. A cutting board oil, yeah. Beeswax. The problem with beeswax, it does exactly the same as the vegetable oil. It hardens, or it leaves the surface impenetrable. So whatever's under it will stay under it, which is not good. So cutting board oil, yeah, something like that. Dr. Gata, do you make showpiece type things? Well, this is for preparation for a demo I'm going to do on Tuesday. So yes, a little bit, but I also do production wood turning, which is where this originated from actually, because this design, not the colors, but this design is something I make hundreds of every year, normally. Right. Oh, that was not completed right. Oh well. And there you have it. I think that's the right. No, that's not right. That's right. And that's right. Right, let's go out a little bit. And maybe we can start talking about what else we could make today. Well, there you have them. Nice matte finish. It's not super shiny, but it's shiny enough. They are about 16 centimeters tall, normally. 15.5 centimeters tall. And they will look great on any table, right? Just have to remember which one is salted with pepper. Or like a lot of people do actually, they just have one for pepper and the salt is in a little beaker. You can just grab it and sprinkle it out. Was about to head off, but wanted to say thank you for the entertainment. A lot to say, your skills are great. Thank you for that, Andrew. I hope you have a really good day. So yeah, that's how I do them. It only took about 2 hours. That's great. That's another camera, so the colours is a little bit. Now that camera shows the colours really a lot lighter than they are. They are actually a lot darker. So the main camera is actually a lot better for this. But yeah, well, there you have it. How do I buy them? Join the Discord. A Discord description is in my on my channel, and get in touch with me there. I'm working on. I should actually be working on setting up a website to sell some of all the stuff I make on stream, because I make a lot of it, and it's starting to cram up. So I want to get rid of it. So yeah. So get in touch with me on Discord, and we can talk forth and back, and payment will be on PayPal. So yeah. That's how we do that. Yeah, I should. But it's just a matter of me sitting down and getting on with it. I found out that ChatGPT actually are able to make your website, and I'm going to play around with that. Thank you, Sammy. Actually, ChatGPT is able to build your website, so I'm going to play around with that a little bit. It's not going to be like really crazy website. It's just going to be a landing page, links to my stuff, and a page where you can contact me and my things showed off. And if I'm able, I will add a shop feature so you can buy it straight off the website. But I don't think I'm able to do that. No worries, Ryan. Looking forward to hear from you. Yeah. So that's number 4 and 5 I've made with this color scheme. And so I have so far made the honey color, that's the yellow one, and the pear green, which is greenish yellow, and the sky blue. 6 can make you a simple shop website. What is VIX? Is that I mean, I can do Shopify or whatever, but they take a percentage off the trade, and all that, and I don't want to do that really. Web hosting company. Oh yeah, but they're probably going to be kind of expensive. But I can look into that, Sammy. I really could. Super chat. Thank you. Oh, Ryan, that's a $20. That's really appreciative. That's about 20 plus times what I normally make on a stream. Thank you, sir. That's really nice of you. Appreciate that. So yeah, they're there, and that's it. So what should we do? Should we do anything else? Should we do a little bit of production wood turning? I think we're still cramming about an hour, maybe. What do you think? I need to make a few. It's a really simple job actually. It's just a few conical pieces. I think we can cram those in. Oh, thank you, Ryan. That's also the largest donation ever on my channel. It's incredible. Thank you, Ryan. I do have my YouTube. So there's other videos there. I'm also looking for an editor to help me edit my videos. Basically, my videos are streams that's caught up to shorter versions, so they're like 10-20 minutes. It just takes me 5 or 6 hours to do one, and I really don't have the time and energy to sit down and do it. So I want something to help me. Make maybe a video a month or something. That'd be nice. That would be really nice, actually. So let's see. So that I'm just you're comfortable with camo. That's good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind being on camera. I mean, of course I don't mind it, otherwise I wouldn't be streaming and making YouTube. Right. So let's see what we got here. Love the accent. Yeah. Thanks, man. I don't know what that accent is actually. It should be Danish, but I don't think it is. But yeah. So that and that. Right. Right, let's get that laid away so I don't cut myself. So let's see. These are just some table legs or dresser leg or something, I'm not sure really. But that's what they are. Alright. For anyone who wants this Discord link, are you going to link that, Sammy? That would be nice of you. But the description should be in there. Description of the stream or on my my YouTube channel. So it should be easy enough to find. And you can ask me anything in there. Mostly, of course, regarding woodturning, because that's what I do. And I'll be happy to answer any question that you might have. Or if you want to get equipment for yourself and try it out, I'll be happy to guide you. Of course, I will not charge you for any of that service. It's free. You just ask me, and I'll be happy to give you my honest opinion. Another thing about me, I do sell woodturning equipment for a living. That's what I do. So I know a lot about that stuff. I am based in Denmark, so it will not be feasible for me to sell you any of the equipment I sell. So that's why I'm going to be neutral. Because shipping a lathe to America would be stupid. It will not be worth the time and effort. This is not the best setup, to be honest. It's too far away. It's just the problem is I can't get. Don't think I get the tailstock to come out further. Can I? No, I think that's a maximum. So it's either that I have to do. Now, I would never recommend anybody ever to take their tailstock quill out this far and use it for anything but really, really light work, because that puts a lot of strain on this joint here if it vibrates. So you got a long pull metal coming out here, and this is normally cast iron, and so when that vibrates, it puts pressure on the tailstock, the inside of this, and will eventually, and rather fast actually, destroy the inside of this. So it's not worth doing that. But for a piece like this, it's hopefully going to be okay. Right. A hammer. I don't need a hammer. I need that one. I need my helmet again because now I have to turn. And this stuff can fly anywhere. Hello, Sammy. Welcome in the Discord. Good to see you, Sammy. So let's see. No, 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 no. That's not right. Oh. It's a little bit too much vibration there. Yeah, I think that should do right. Right. Yeah. The problem is you're probably not allowed to put links in the chat. I don't know why. It's not a setting that I choose. But that link, you can find that on my channel. Just click on my logo and you're on my channel and you can see all the socials there and all everything. So it should be okay. Yeah, I did see that, Sammy. Thank you for that. You're welcome in. Glad to have you. And I really mean that. That's nice. So, there's not a lot happening in there. It's not that many people because it's new, and I'm not the best person to like post in there all the time. But it's a place where you can get in touch with me if you want it. So that's that's the main thing, really. Yeah, that's great, Sammy. That's nice. I can see my watch is peeping a lot. Sammy sent the sticker. Yes, sir. So things are happening. That's good. So let's just see. Right. So around there. Right, around there. That's the last piece I can measure. Right, so that last piece I can measure. Sand when turning. Do you mean torque or something? Or what do you mean? There we go. So let's just see. can see Sammy's having a blast at my Discord, which is fine. You're using sandpaper? Yeah, okay, you mean sanding. Probably, yeah. Oh, this is tapered all the way, right. Well, the problem is, this gouge here doesn't leave the best surface finish. But I cannot get closer with my tool rest. And it's really like stable when it reaches out this far. So it's just gonna have to do really. Oh yes, I have many things fly away like that. That happens more often than you think. Stuff breaks on the lathe. So we got a little bit of high spot there. Stuff breaks on the lathe. It happens quite often. That's the main reason why I wear my helmet like this, really, because stuff can come flying, and it just happens out of nowhere. So there's no preparation. This could break at any time, really, and just fly up and hit me in the head or chest or whatever. My hands doesn't really that often get hurt from things breaking. They get hurt from other things here in the workshop, don't worry about that. Just a normal guy like that. Yeah, that can hurt. I've been knocked out once, actually. Not knocked out to the point where I was laying on the floor, but knocked out enough so I didn't know how I got to the place in the workshop that I were. So that happened. And I probably shouldn't go 180. I should probably go down to 120, because well, that's the last bit of that. Because, like I said, the Scout doesn't leave the best surface. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that. Better put on a cup. Oh, cup for like, yeah, your groin. Never had anything hit me from below my what you call it? My sternum. Is that what you call it? That center point here on the chest. No, never had anything hit me below that. So that's always good. I'll just find. I think I had. Yeah, it fell down. So I'm just going to give this a nice sanding. This is for furniture, right? This is for a furniture restore in my area. He comes around. Sometimes it's 1 to 2 times a month. One times it can go a lot longer. But he comes around with a little stuff now and then and drops it off. Now this is just 240 sandpaper, right? That's a sharp corner, that's a sharp one. It's just 240 sandpaper. I don't think there's any need to go any higher than that. And that's a nice finish on that, and it's nice and straight. Of course it's quite a cold, but yep. And I did it without breaking the because I was afraid of those holes when I turn it. The chances are that it could break the fibers. It did break a little bit down here, not too much though. But other than that, it went fine. So that was so it's going to be. Right, well I just need to make 3 more. It shouldn't take too long. So that's the best really. When he marks the centers of the timber for me, which is really nice of him. But if he marks it too deep, the thing's gonna not go straight on center. That's gonna be a little bit difficult. Right. Now because he didn't mark it too deep, it runs really true. It's not more than about 1/4 of a millimeter off center, which is really well. Okay, so this is the top part. Well, I'm just trying to see if I can get that to go well. There, that's good. So that's the bottom. I'll just mark that. Right. Just gonna make that. Like there. And it's just a matter of connecting it. Right, oh. Now what's really funny is either the chat is not working properly or nobody over at TikTok has said anything the entire stream. Which is kind of weird. I know there are people there because I can see people coming and going in chat. But yeah, I'll have to look into that later. see what's going on. So don't we have any Americans here today? Because we normally have quite a few. Also Australians, but they're probably off to bed now. Right, oh. So let's see what is really going on here. Now, good thing, this is about straight edge, and see I have a little bit of a top there, about here. So I'm just gonna try to see if that's better. Oh, let's go, go. Yeah. I mean, that's not too bad really. It's a little bit of high spot still, but nothing to worry about. About half a millimeter off or millimeter off. So that should do that, and we're going to sand it. Right. Now, this is just the fun part of it, really. Now, at the beginning, when I was streaming, I did only production work, really. So it could be me for 4 hours making staircase spindles, and or it could be me for I don't know how many hours. Nothing like some sawdust to wake up. Hello pixels. Yeah, it's always nice with a little bit of sawdust. I would appreciate it not being in my coffee and my beer, but other than that, it's really nice. And welcome in, by the way. We're just about to wrap down on the stream. So just about to finish up this. Now I just had 4 of these to make, which is not a lot though. A couple hundred would be better, but just making 4 like this is also pretty nice, because I can just slow down, relax, and just enjoy the process a little bit. And because I have a 1 hour minimum, so the client pays for 1 hour, no matter if I only use half an hour. I can take the time and do it right, and just, you know, enjoy the process. Let's see. That's good. So let's just get that one. Now, I have to you have to remember the workshop's going to be really, really clean for Tuesday. So when I'm done here, I need to start finish the clean that I started a couple of days ago. Because I'm going to do the demo, a demo for my wood turning club. It's called Woodturning 360, and if you're interested in a online woodturning club, I highly recommend having a look at that. Just go to Woodturning 360 on the old interwebs and read about it. We do have a demo every month. I'm sorry, I'm not able to speak. Read that. What do you mean? 1/double-circle-dash? Yeah, I don't know what you mean by that. It's supposed to be an emoji that I don't understand because I'm old. That's fine. Welcome to the internet. Yo, hello the boss. That old Miss Aluminum. Now the problem is, someone like her, she now knows she's an internet sensation, and she's just trying to milk it. And that's awful. Now, any proper wood turner coming into the stream right now and see me doing this, the spindle roughing gouge, is going to laugh at me, because this is definitely not the proper tool for the job. It means extra sanding, it means the chance of torn up grain, it means a higher risk of damaging those slot that my client had put into this timber. So basically, it's just really a bad idea. But look at that. It's straight. Well, really close to anyway. But again, there you see, I chipped off a little bit. And it's not good. But I told him that's a chance of that happening, and over here as well. Now that's because of the grain itself. Actually, it's not the best of directions. So let's see. Let's get the 120 first. La da 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 la da 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 da. This party's nice and friendly, soon. You can hear a little brrrt sound, right? So every time the sandpaper goes over the holes, there it is. That's funny. It's a little bit funny. Just going to polish off that surface. Yep, yep. Right, so it's almost perfect. It's okay, good. So let's just see. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's not perfect. Right, last piece, and then we're done for the day. And someone can come and clean my workshop. Yes, please. Any volunteers? No? That's a shame. That is a shame. Almost done, almost done. It's going to be great. Oh, there we are. So let's just see. Right, you can actually see now that whenever I turn, my mind is occupied by something else. Right now, my mind was just wandering, and I was thinking about next Tuesday. Oh well, not next Tuesday, but on Tuesday, thinking about that demo. And I can't talk what I think, but I can work. That's cool. But normally when I do this stuff, I have an audiobook in my ear, and that occupies my brain, while my hands occupied doing something productive. So yeah, so if anybody is still here, this is going to be the end of the stream. We did the 2 grinders today. Got a nice donation from Ryan. I really appreciate that. And what, is the audio not working? It's working, isn't it? Yeah. And I did 2 grinders, and now I did the 4 legs here for another client. And that's about it. We met some new people, met some old people. We hung out for, what was that, 2.5, 3 hours? Almost 3 hours, yeah. And it was cool, it was good, it was nice. So, as soon as this is done, this looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Take off my helmet. Let's go up to there and inhale some of the dust that's still in the air. It's wonderful. And if everybody's still here and listening, hi, the people said hi, Mario, Dario, or Mazida. Hello. Thank you for joining, everybody. It's been a wonderful couple of hours. It's been wonderful to turn and have some company. But remember, treat the world as you want the world to treat you, and everything is going to be better. You have a good day. Thank you. Hey, Joe. What are you making, friend? Well, you got me right on the end here. I was just making some table legs. Let's just talk a little bit more. That's fine. I was making some table legs here. They have a few slots cut out for them to straighten it for the table. This is the piece he gave me, and he said just continue that down the same angle. So that's what I did. Other than that, this is just the end of it. This is production fun thing. I did 2 grinders. Where did I put them? There they are. Right. They're over here. A salt and a pepper, or a pepper and a pepper, whatever you want to call them. Joseph, Joe, hello. For here they are. Right. Let's see. Oh, that's better. A little bit dusty now because in the workshop. But there they are. A purple and a burnt orange is the colours. I think this looked a little bit like Trigger from We Need a Poo. Dining table or what table? No, I think it's a kind of coffee table or a dresser. Not sure really what it is for, but the slots have been cut into it for strainers, of course. I don't know sure exactly what it's for. He probably did tell me, but I just can't remember. But cool thing about the rounders is we've got continuous grain. You can see, probably not really. The grain from the top follows all the way to the bottom. And they'll be coloured and burned a little bit, so that's nice. So yeah, that's what we did. That's what I did. And had some company while I did it. The reason why I'm looking over there is because that's what chat is. That's where I can see it. Probably should have a monitor up there for chat, so I can watch the camera at the same time. But you know, it is what it is. But I've been streaming now 3 hours. I need to clean up this mess and go relax a little bit. So thank you everybody for being here. And so yeah, I've been streaming for 3 hours. Next Sunday is going to be the same. So go 3 hours back, and that's where I start. So you'll have a good day. Thank you.